Hello, everybody.
It's not important.
Welcome back to Pokemon White. We are not wanting to seek your communications. I don't know where that came from, but it's here. Okay,
It's autumn.
it won't be for long. All right, Chris has the EXP share. We gotta go. I don't know where we
It's
gotta
like-
go. Do I have 7 badges? Do we have 7 badges? We have 7 badges. Can I?
It's like, who the hell's Chris? But then I realized, oh yeah, going for a bit wasn't intended. But
Yeah, it
we're
didn't start
doing
out. It didn't start out as a bit, but you sure made it a bit.
Sure has been. Sure has been 5 months.
No, it's actually been less than a month
Sure has been
by
5
one
months.
day. It sure feels like a lot longer, but we're back. I'm polishing these badges because I feel like it.
What?
What? You can polish your badges in pretty much every Gen 4 game, I think. Maybe
Oh.
not. Maybe not Heart Gold Soul Silver. But we gotta make them nice and shiny. I like that the portraits also light up when you polish them. I don't know why that is, but they do. Anyway, it was very important that we do that. Okay, so since we have 7 badges, we can move on with our lives, I think. Or does this just go up to... Oh, that's right. We're doing Dragon Spiral right now? Did we... Oh, we went on a side quest to go get Chris. That's right. I remember now. All right. So now... Yep. Winter. Because autumn was when we last loaded the save file, and it's been a month, so change to winter.
Neat.
Every month it changes the season. I feel like that was too long, but I guess Game Freak seems to think that this is a longer scale game than most people play it as.
I mean, if it wasn't for the fact that we don't stream often, pretty sure we would have finished this before a month.
Yeah, we would have. But I just mean like the long-term scale. Like people are like playing this as their game, you know? Where it's like, yeah, you need that one like item that's up on that ledge. Wait 3 months.
So what's happened in the last month? I feel like
I also feel like
these streams just end up being catch-up streams.
well, whose fault is that?
Okay, you sent me something. Is that a real update or no?
So it was both real and not real.
No.
So that was a look at the Luminescent Platinum team's next project, which is going to be built off of Luminescent Platinum.
Okay.
The video I sent you was them doing... it was a video of a thing they said they wouldn't do.
But then they do it.
But then there it is. But then you look at what day it was and you go, oh, wait a minute. And then they put out an announcement later that some of the team had actually developed it and it's real.
Oh.
But it was developed in secret, so they didn't even know until I guess they shared it. So they say it might not make it into the first release of their next project, but it'll eventually make it in. And when that happens, we'll do another BDSP run for the true platinum experience. And also just because, you know, BDSP modding has come so far that they can literally
Just
the
new
game's just open now. They like at one point they said, "Oh yeah, BDSP is on the level of like Emerald Decomp packs now." Meaning they have full control over the game. They can do whatever they want to it. We already did this. Why is everyone still here? N left. Why are we... I saved, didn't I? Escape rope out of here. Been a little while, everybody. I forgot where we were. So... this already all happened. Okay, I can't escape rope out. What happened? Where do we go from here? Do we need to do something else? I mean, I know where the ultimate goal is, but I am a bit confused as to how to get there. Because my memories are mainly, wait a minute, that was black 2, white 2, that's how you get over there, and not black 1, white 1. So, we're gonna figure it out. It's just very strange that all the other NPCs were still there, like the stuff was still happening. So
why is the abbreviation B1, B2, or
B1, W1?
White 1. Yeah, whatever
Black
it
1,
is,
white
yeah.
1, and not black, white 1?
Yeah.
Because there's a game called Black and White. And a game called Black and White 2. Those are games.
Those are games, yes, but who even talks about those games?
I don't know, but like they were more relevant 14 years ago when these games were new. So 13 years ago. So, you know, it was just a thing.
Huh.
Maybe it's also based off of the fact that that's how Nintendo likes to group the game titles. Okay, that was one tile. Because they'll say like Nintendo will do the like full title if they're talking about like, I don't know, Sword and Shield. I don't know why I went there, but they'll say Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield, not Pokemon Sword and Shield.
Well, yes, officially because they're
right, but like
full title
maybe
thing.
maybe it stemmed from that. I don't know. Why not black, white 1? Black 1, white 1. Like, I don't know.
1 black, white, 2 black, white. White to black.
White 2, black 1.
Black to white.
Anyway, we're not going to make that mistake. It's a really funny mistake that apparently happened to a lot of people.
Wait,
so
what?
okay. So, you're playing Pokemon White, right? The legendary you get, it's on the box. You know you're going to get it. It's Zekrom. Right?
Yeah.
So then you're like, "Oh, White version has Zekrom." Okay. And then they announce sequels. Right? And then you're like, "Oh, wait. Okay. So now I can get the other one. I'll get black too."
Oh no.
And you know what they did in those games?
Reversed it.
Yeah, they did.
That's so mean.
Well, it's not that mean. Give the sequel to the one you got.
Yes. That makes sense. Like logically, okay, yes, that makes sense. If you played white, get white too.
Yeah.
But
yep. Yeah, but so many people did that. Oh, it's really funny. Oh, hey, look, we can get this item up here. And run into, I don't know, 2 Pokemon. Talked about it earlier, but Black White introduced so many things to the series. Like wild double battles that were outside of the scripted sections in Diamond Pearl Platinum, where you had somebody else with you. Shaken Grass, which I think was only used again in Boras after Black White. Did X and Y have Shaken Grass? I forget. Where do I go? What do I do? Do I have the thing? I don't have the thing, but that might be what I have to do next. I'm not certain.
So,
Yeah.
what was I gonna say?
Catch up stream. What else has been happening?
I was gonna say, like, actually, a question. So, Gen 5 brings in so much. What
Relic.
what generation? Did I ask this before? What generation brought the most changes to the series?
That's tough to quantify without going through them all. Okay, changes to the series. That immediately eliminates Gen 1 from anything.
In Gen 2.
Gen 2, no. Gen 2 has changes to the series. We can start there.
Mm. Okay.
Gen 2, shiny Pokemon. Pokemon breeding. Changing from stat XP to DVs. Held items. Adding the Dark and Steel types. Introducing... No, I think Move Tutors existed. Did they?
In Gen 1?
No, I don't think Move Tutors
no.
existed. Now, to be fair, I think there were only Move Tutors in Crystal.
Yep, Gen 1 Stadium.
Oh,
and
did
Generation
Stadium...
2 Crystal.
Okay, Stadium had Move Tutors? Okay.
Only Surf.
Only
Neat.
Surf for Pikachu in yellow. Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that still counts. We can say Gen 1 had the first Move Tutor. That's okay. So it gets to have that. Crystal had the first moving sprites. Crystal had the first battle tower. So that was the first game with a post-game facility. Stuff where you're like, oh yeah, easy. Like, of course the games have that. Had to start somewhere. Started early.
And then, oh man, are we going to include?
Can we start with adding full color to the games? I don't know if that's really a generational improvement or a hardware improvement, but Gold Silver were the first games to have full color and not the junk that Yellow had.
That is true. Yeah, I would consider that because 3D models, 3D world being advancements in the games, because they do somewhat make use of it.
So basically we have to separate out like mechanical enhancements versus gameplay enhancements, I guess, because obviously the resolution and color depth and like audio fidelity increase with each game until you hit full-on game audio streaming at like what, 3DS? I mean, I guess the GameCube had it first. But like, are you gonna count those, or is that just the function of the hardware it was on? Right? So excuse me, sir, what are you doing in here? I'm gonna save my game and then beat you up. So yeah, we can probably remove that stuff. But like moving sprites, that wasn't like, it's the same system. Well, no, you actually couldn't. couldn't play Crystal on a Game Boy. That was the first game to require the Game Boy Color as well. It's weird looking at Gold and Silver gameplay in black and white. But anyway. What else did Gen 2 have? By nature of it being the second generation, it was the first game to have cross-gen Pokemon transferring.
We didn't mention gender.
That's another one.
It is, yeah. Breeding, eggs.
Yep, I already mentioned that.
Yeah.
And by function of breeding existing, egg moves. That was like the primary reason for the breeding system, I think. What else did Gen 2 have? Trainer names? That, again, might be a hardware limitation.
Like trainer IDs? Or?
No. I mean, like, when you fight a random trainer, they have a name, and they're not just their trainer class. When you fight a Rocket, they're Rocket, Grunt, whatever. Well, okay, for the Rockets, that's different. I mean, like, when you fight a Camper, it's Camper Ben, not Camper. That could just be a text limit thing and not...
Could be a text thing, but I don't remember Gen 1 not having that.
Yeah. Now, the gym leaders still had names. But, yeah. They only had their trainer class. Pretty sure.
So when did Youngster Joey start?
Youngster Joey was Gold Silver. Now, there was a kid who talked about shorts in Red Blue that got named Joey. I think he's also named Joey in Fire Red Leaf Green. But that's Fire Red Leaf Green. Oh, due to the functionality of, okay, so Gold and Silver also added the day-night cycle.
True.
It added trainer rematches.
And then it was removed for a generation.
Yes. And then it came back, and then it stayed, I think. But no. Ruby Sapphire actually did have a day-night cycle. It just wasn't visually represented. In fact, Fire Red Leaf Green, straight up, did not have a day-night cycle. Because it was a remake of Red Blue. So the only way to get Espeon and Umbreon is through trading an Eevee to Ruby Sapphire and leveling it up there. Or, you know, Colosseum. Gale of Darkness. But you couldn't get Eevee, or you couldn't get Espeon and Umbreon in Fire Red Leaf Green. So you had to trade an Eevee from Fire Red Leaf Green over to Ruby Sapphire. Level it up there.
Could you move Pokemon out of Colosseum or XD?
Yes. You can trade with any Gen 3 game.
Weird, I don't remember doing that because I do have the link cable.
You're stuck at I think you're stuck at a fixed number of Pokemon in Colosseum. But you could transfer Pokemon into Gale of Darkness because they added those 3 wild Pokemon spots to the game. So you can actually catch wild Pokemon. Now, you'd only be trading like 9 different Pokemon back to the other game. But you could do it. Like, you could just feed the other game infinite Zubats as you trade over the rest of your collection. If you really wanted to put them all in Gale of Darkness for some reason.
Yeah. So Gen 1 is the only one that can't transfer out of?
No, you can trade stuff to Gold, Silver, Crystal.
Is there any way to get Gen 1, Gen 2 out of the Game Boy?
The physical Game Boy? No. Not without using a third-party device or having the virtual console releases. The physical Game Boy, not so much. Just by itself, no. The best you could do is move the, like, you could copy the data over to Stadium. I think that was the best you could do. It couldn't leave Gen 1 outside of trading to Gen 2 stuff, and then that couldn't leave Stadium 2 either. So that's it. You were stuck to N64 or Game Boy. And even then with Stadium, I think if it was anything like Battle Revolution, it was just a copy of the data. So it wasn't like you removed your team or anything. But anyway, yeah, the Gen 2, Gen 3 barrier was rough until the Virtual Console releases. But, I mean, we got remakes anyway, so. And those are Gen 3 and Gen 4, so.
That is true. Wait, can Gen 3 go to Gen 4?
Yes.
How?
Pal Park. Post-game in Gen 4, there was a facility where you could transfer up. I don't remember if it was a whole box or if it was just 6 Pokemon at a time. But then they got put into like a Safari Zone-like facility where just those Pokemon were. Just those ones you transferred, and then you just go catch them. And then they're yours again. You had to do it on an original DS or DS Lite because the
because it
GBA
actually
cart,
used the cartridge.
Yes, GBA cart had to be in the DS. Yep, I did that with a lot of my Fire Red, Leaf Green Pokemon. All right, so since we moved on to Gen 3, what did Gen 3 add to the game? To the world of Pokemon? It added abilities, double battles,
Weather.
It expanded upon
type.
What?
2 bike types, platforming bike, whatever it was.
Sure, yes, although that didn't really stay.
Oh well.
Those are the only games with 2 bikes. In fact, yeah, no, they didn't really, because
But
like, it was just a platforming thing, really, more than a gameplay. I mean, like, you could get to certain areas with one bike and not to another, right? That's really all it did. It didn't really change the game so much. Just like how you could say Diamond, Pearl, Platinum had a better bike than that because it had you could change gears. So you had both bikes at once and you could swap essentially with a button press. Like but it doesn't really change anything. It's just a method of moving faster. That's like saying they added HMs, right? It's like it's nothing new. It's just more. What you could say is that they were external peripherals, but Gen 3 was the first. No, they weren't, were they?
No.
They were the first to like properly use Wi-Fi. Like Gen 2 had that weird cell phone thing. That's how you got Celebi. But like to actually use wireless connection to trade and battle, well. See, I keep saying that, and then I remember that the Game Boy Color had the IR blaster in the top of it, so you could send each other like mystery gifts. You could trade data, and then it would be like a random item. Not Pokemon. You couldn't trade Pokemon with the Game Boy Color, but they could trade, like they could exchange data, and then you'd get stuff. But like for actual like wireless trading and battling, only Fire Red, Leaf Green, and Emerald could use them. I don't think Ruby and Sapphire could. But there were wireless adapters. I actually still have 2 of them. Wireless adapters for the GBA. That were made just for Pokemon. And I think only Pokemon and maybe Mario Kart used them. Something like that. But then again, going back to what I said previously, is that a function of the hardware? Or the game? What did that add? Maybe it didn't add anything. You know what?
I'd say the hardware.
Hang on.
If the game does make use of the hardware, I think it does count.
So here's the thing. Here's what I was about to say. Just if it was just wireless trading and battling, I wouldn't have said. I would stop it there. However, because of those wireless adapters, those were the first games to have a union room. I'm pretty sure.
A what room?
Union room, basically like a waiting room where you could see other players.
Oh.
Like you could walk around and talk to them to initiate trading and battling. It used to, yeah. Yeah, I could probably like film it if the wireless adapters still work.
Probably not.
I mean, they might. But whatever. The point is, okay, so they did utilize the hardware to do something unique. What else did Gen 3 do, really?
No.
Yes, contests.
Heck, yes. I guess I guess that counts because they did bring it back.
I mean, contests were in Gen 3, 4, 5, 6 in terms of the remake. Then they were dropped. And then they came back in 8 because of the 4 remake. So they really only skipped Gen 7. And then they weren't in 8 or 9. Whoops. 7. Wait. No, sorry. They weren't. They were in 8. So they were really only not in 7 or 9. They've been around more than they haven't been around at this point.
What's the Gen 3 done?
That could be it. Could be. If we think of anything else later, we can add it back on. But Gen 4. Gen 4 might have added the least. But what they did add was pretty significant.
Okay, they did add. I consider graphical upgrades, like generational graphical upgrades.
It was the first one to utilize 3D buildings. It was the first. Well, on the handhelds, it was the first one to utilize 3D. But you know, Stadium exists.
Yes, Stadium exists, but no. Mainline.
It is the first mainline games to utilize 3D. Even though I want to add Coliseum and XD to that because they are just straight up Pokemon games. It's fine. First mainline games to utilize 3D. It was the first ones to have wireless built in, so they had a little bit more. Oh no, that's right. Full on internet connectivity, so full on internet trading and battling.
Oh yeah, that's true. There's like the whatever global trade thing.
GTC, I think it was called. Global Trade Center.